Okay, let's get into it. It's scary time. Oh, never mind. There you go.
I once had it all. My palate was sated, nostrils stimulated, standing venerated. Then one day, you took everything away but shame and pain.
Even the bloody trout.
I'm still not sure what game you're playing, but I'm back.
Dun, 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 dun. Back in the New York groove. I'm back. Back in the New York groove. Such a good song. This place does look a bit run down. Needs a bit of paint, you know. It's just like that.
I'm taking what's mine.
Well, the art. Flashback. Dun, dun, dun. What are we taking? Who are we taking it from? That's the real question. It's chapter 1, it says, by the way. Oh, alright, Ren. Alright, a little bit of motion blur, but nothing too serious. Well, this is a depressing hole, isn't it?
It made me think of your poem. Congratulations.
We're a poet. Well, that's a bit rough, isn't it? How do I rotate? Like this? Oh, I just move it? Okay. I don't want to be a poet. Oh, he's dead. Yep. This is going to be one of those 12 years ago. I must save my lover from the undentured abyss. What does this say? Never call him by real name. No dates, mid-20s. Never tell where to. What is this, fucking MI6? This place needs, once again, wooden walls, not a huge fan. Never enjoyed it. Always preferred a little bit of wallpaper. Getting amnesia vibes. First things first, we don't go to the basement.
Dear, congratulations once again on winning our competition. Let us repeat, your submission astonished us, and we are delighted to welcome you in our hermitage. Make yourself at home. The whole lighthouse is at your disposal.
Oh. A boat will arrive once a week with supplies, and if you need anything, there's a phone on the premises. Wishing you a fruitful and inspirational stay, the management. Well, thank you, Ponton. I feel like if you let somebody... Oh, well, there's the telephone. I feel like if you let somebody into a place, you probably shouldn't lock them in. Slightly rude. Well, at least the kitchen has some stuff in it.
The author of the winning essay will receive an opportunity to write the book on the subject in our lighthouse, accommodated especially for this purpose.
The Illegible Agency invites all interested writers to submit their essays concerning the life and work of somebody, one of the most mysterious and tragic figures in the history of modern art. Submissions will be open until whenever the fuck. Turns out Van Gogh's been sniffing again. He only lost one here. Maybe another one will disappear at some point too. Right. What else do we have in this? I think we're in the lighthouse, or...
whole lighthouse is at your disposal. My ass.
My voice line sounded a little bit forced, I'm not gonna lie. Like, maybe that's just our inner monologue and that's how we chat to ourselves, but, you know, we need a bit of work. Marriage, Chapter 1. Chapter 2, Accident with Fire. Chapter 3, Destruction of Marriage. Are we doing causation, correlation here?
I'm an adult, Mama. Crippled or not, I can take care of myself now. It's time for you to focus on yourself. I can't wait to read that book. Love you.
Literally Van Gogh. Van Gogh is in the hizzy. It's a bit of a tough, I was actually looking at this bathroom and I was thinking this was the shitter. How about no? Okay, so that's the actual lighthouse portion. Let's see what's over here. Good morrow.
Hello?
I received the word that you came to the lighthouse. You find everything to your liking.
Well, that was fast. Yeah, I'm here.
I'm very pleased to hear it. Now, are you writing?
What?
You must understand, Mrs. It is imperative that you start your work as soon as possible. I will remind you that you signed a contract. So it is very specific on the timeline. I would advise you abide by it. Goodbye.
Now that was a conversation I was too sober for.
It wasn't really a conversation, it was a demand. That really depends on, you know, who... Is that like a publisher? Is that like a manager? What is that? Oh, these steps are steep as all hell. Right. Oh! We knocked over the broom, we've destroyed the feng shui. This can only be a negative.
Look, I'm aware of the rat's presence, okay? But nothing can be done about it. They've been on this island as long as anyone can remember. It's in our best interest to leave them be.
Sound barrier sticky pads. This guy has no imagination. Become one with the rat. Nice, this is some kind of motor which is powering everything, so at some point it's gonna die. Nice to know at least where it is. So we'll have to see what goes on. These windows, even though they're in the old layers of fear, they always remind me of Amnesia instead. Right, let's go have a look and see at the top. Maybe it'll be like the other game where Cthulhu pops up.
Our sources say 428 entries have been submitted to the agency. The entry that won was surprising, to say the least. It wasn't a scholar who won it, nor someone with proper education that would give him an understanding of life. It was a sensationalist, a horror writer, and...
He didn't steal it then, did he? Or her. Many great talented Americans took part in the contest set up by the illegible agency. The first edition of the event promised a great prize. A solitary stay in their lighthouse to focus on writing would be a dream come true for many. How... They picked the winner based on the stuff put in out of... Oh, come on. So you basically just left me in a lighthouse that doesn't work. Well, that's fantastic. What was that? Somebody just bust a light bulb. Very unfortunate. So the idea is we're in this desolate place, therefore, in 1955. So therefore, that's going to give us some ideas to write with. I mean, maybe, but unfortunately I'm thick as a brick, so I don't think it's going to help. Alright. Lovely. It's tap 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 time. The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. Never mind, can't even get one word in. Always distractions. This is the problem with a writer's blight. There's just ghosts everywhere, isn't there? Could you please relax, sir? Do you not know I was put here to write, and you have unfortunately broken my rhythm. Well, this is unfortunate. Hey up. It's Scraggle time. This is what happens when you just leave food outside of the place. What do we picture of Dorian Graying here? Peekaboo. Somebody just farted behind me. Right. Well, it's lovely to meet you, missus. You look like a very standard 17th century painting, if I'm honest with you. Am I stuck in here forever now? Noise. Definitely a farting ghost.
Might as well make some good use of the phone while I'm here.
Who the hell are you gonna call? You're a desperate writer who can't even write in this situation. Jesus. Who are you gonna call? Fucking Ghostbusters?
Hello?
Hi, darling. I'm calling to let you know I'm here. Can you believe the agency already called to see if I was working?
That's insane. Did you at least
Oh,
have
he's
time
still
to settle
alive.
in a bit?
Never mind.
How's the Lighthouse? Inspiring? Spooky? Haunted?
All of these things. I was just looking around and it's certainly something. How are you? Do the meds work?
Don't you worry about me, Mama. This is your time to do your work. To live your life.
Well, maybe you're right. I should probably get to it then. Bye, son. Love you.
Oh,
Love
son?
you too,
Oh, never
Mama.
mind. It's not an incestuous relationship. Fair enough. So the father probably is dead. Or that's her son. One of the two. Nice to know that he's still alive, home alone. Dereliction of duty, aboard. Na-na-na-na-na-na. Right, let's get back to writing after our little perusing. What can we find?
I know how you must feel. Lost. Alone. Hopeless. You probably deserve it.
Oh,
But
thank
even for you, there is still a way. A way to bring it all back.
you. Even for me.
The one precious thing you ever truly desired. Finish it.
I told you. It's fucking Dorian Gray. Ah. Good. Favorite book, by the way. Big fan. This is... Wait, this is the original house. I remember this from the first game. This is the dog. Yeah, this was like the original house and demo. Has it just been rejudged? Oh, yep, definitely rejudged. Superior. Nice. Anybody inside? No.
I didn't touch the workshop, just like you asked. Although I can't imagine the mess that's inside. Also, if you care so much for that room, maybe you should pay more attention to where you leave the keys. I brought them back to your office.
That is such a snarky note, by the way. Like, oh, I didn't look in your workshop. But also, like, naff off. Give up. It's just rude and uncalled for. Everybody misplaces their keys at least 3 or 4 times. It's a rite of passage until you get one of those bowls where you put everything in.
How the hell did they fuck up the length?
I don't know. Yeah, very passive-aggressive. Incredibly rude. Toilet works, fantastic. That's what we're here for. Somebody literally has war medals in their bathroom. I suppose that's when you want to be reminiscing about old times when you're shitting in the toilet, because you're not shitting in a trench. Electricity, unfortunate. No turning that off. What is this? A dog collar? I can't see what it says.
I'm sorry for yesterday. You were right. I overreacted.
No, the
It's
classic
just that
response.
This isn't about me. It's about her. Everything I do with her best interest in mind. I guess I've always believed that in an imperfect world, it's worth it to strive for perfection. Now I'm starting to sound like my father. I will work on my temper, though. Promise. We'll talk later.
Is this like just doing a refresher to the first game? Because I remember all of this. Like, are we just like going back in time? Is that the idea of this like version of it? So it's like redoing it? It's definitely a mousetrap. Vinny and partners have failed. Fast, efficient, and discreet. I always like that idea. Like you need to be super discreet to deal with this stuff. Could you? Absolutely not. How about that? Thank you. Waste of time and resources. Hey Dado, nice to see you, man. You watched the new Spider-Man movie? Ooh. How was it? Well, layers of fearing. Right. So, I think we go to the basement last.
I'm so sick and tired of us talking through these notes. We live in the same house, for God's sake. Come talk to me when you're done, before you go to sleep.
Well, you got bad breath, though. What do you want me to do? It was great, bending on a massive cliffhanger. That's annoying. Ah, that's good. It's definitely music, but I have no idea what it is. So instead of going for horror timing, we instead have a bit of comedic timing. Oh, lovely. I remember that from the first game as well. That one just nuking me. Oh, hello Theodora, how are you doing? Yes, this was a study area. Chewbacca's outside the window.
Let me ask you one simple question. Have you completely lost your goddamn mind? I know you're going through some rough times right now. I really do. That's why I've agreed to let you do those illustrations in the first place. For old time's sake. I even deliberately gave you a trivial task, because I expected Little Red Riding Hood to be something you can draw in your sleep. What I didn't expect is to get this demented nightmare fuel you submitted for a kid's bedtime story. There is no way in hell I'm using this, and I already regret agreeing to a payment in advance. Please, get your shit together.
Your pal Liam Brickstone, Whispered Tale Publishing House. Imagine having, like, that setup. Imagine that being, like, the way that you address people. Hello? Unfortunately, we're not in the era of wireless yet, so it's not gonna work. And of course, we have bunged it in on the good old wall here. This might be useful. Maybe we should keep it as at least a club. Good morning, Donnie. Nice to see you. Hopefully you're doing good today. A good old jar. Lovely to see. Fantastic, even. A good office. Pretty standard. The rain is incredibly loud. Give up. Hooey! Tell you what, this is a privileged fucking baby. Goddamn. Unfortunately, it seems to be dead, so maybe not so privileged. What do you have, Xanax?
Hush. Daddy's here. Hush. Daddy's here.
That could be done in two very separate ways. Hush, baby. Daddy's here. Right. Voice acting is kind of important in that bit. D+. Yep, all the weird ass dolls from the first game too, and the dog.
Why pink?
Why is that like the biggest issue? It's like, wow, the proportions are all off. Why? You're 5. You should be able to draw like bloody, what's his name, Michelangelo. But instead, you give me this dross. How about we don't crucify the kid for drawing a funny horse? Incredibly sad. Just, you know, clap the hands and be like, yeah, well done. You've done something.
Working all night. Don't wake me up.
Don't think I can anyway. Oh, I can. Cooey! Did that just, like, break? Too abstract, dude.
Might not be a household name yet, but just give her time. The incredibly talented multi-instrumentalist gave an astounding performance last night, winning over even the most ardent naysayers. Quote, "She was simply astounding. I haven't seen such passion, energy, and skill in years," stated famed pianist Daniel Richter. He was not alone in his praise. It seems even Anthony Giles, one of its harshest critics, has finally seen the light. Giles had previously made disparaging comments about the artist, stating, quote, "There's more to performing music than enthusiasm in a pretty face."
Rude.
When asked if, after witnessing last night's performance, he regrets these words, Mr. Giles gave us a look that can only be described as a mixture of awe and embarrassment. Pressed for an answer, he simply said, "Yes." We caught up with the star.
If I remember, there was like a fire, and the wife died, and then the husband went nuts. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. When we played this,
The
like,
long-awaited
however
opening of the
many
Galactic
years ago.
department store
Yep,
turned
there you
into
go.
hell on Earth when the building's wiring burst into flames. While the majority of the visitors managed to reach the emergency exits in time, several unfortunate attendees were trapped in the back of the building, having no chance to escape the raging inferno. The exact number of casualties has not yet been determined, although it is estimated that at least a dozen people have been severely injured. The owner of the Galactic, Ronald Sheffield, has so far declined the comment on today's tragic events.
Because, like, there was a prosthetic leg or something involved, that person wasn't able to get out and they died. But I remember that's what happened. 2.5 inches wide. Not great girth. Oh, once again, another great implement that would be fantastic to have. But unfortunately, our character only has, you know, areas for letters. So much for waking him up, my boy's already out. Drums in the deep. Imagine having a house with all of these pictures on. That's actually quite a famous one. That one up there. I'm guessing all these other ones are, I just don't know them. But they look very much like 16th to 18th. Right, time to go into the basement. No. Not the rats once again. It's gonna turn into Plague or a Requiem. Is that a bust of Caesar, of all people? Yeah, it looks like it. No, there's no Black Betty Bam Blam in this one. It's a great song, though. Oh, what the hell? Reading CDFC? What are you doing? Written communication DBCD. Ah, the only one that's even allowed to be passed is art. How do you get an F in social studies? Do you just not talk? I mean, that's fair. But no, this is there's a member of the family that has like a prosthetic leg or something's happened to them, and then they get caught in the fire and die, and then they start haunting everybody. If I remember, that was like the story of the first one. Which is what we're in right now. We're in the first game. It's just like upgraded graphics. But I don't think there's anything else down here. Just an unfortunate report card. So is the idea the writer, like, is writing the stories that's happening? So we're writing the story that we're playing the story that she's writing? Is that the whole thing? If that's you know the idea, that's pretty cool. But if it's just like the first game again, then I don't know. I'm not hugely into it. So if I remember, this is where something goes a bit nuts. Well, there's two shoes. So obviously something's set up. This door wasn't open before, if I remember. Oh no, it was. Sorry. How many layers does it have? At least 2. Aha!
Figured you'd be up all night, so I made you a little treat. You know, I bet even Rembrandt occasionally took time off from being brilliant and snored his head off like the rest of us common folk. I know! In other words, get some sleep, you big dummy. I love you.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I've literally had notes like that in the past. About not sleeping and doing a bit too much. Paint, rose door, burnt umber, sienna, 25 brushes, 50 air fresheners, 10 kilograms of apple, and booze. I don't even think that's a party, that's just a depressing funeral.